biggest comment I got at the end of this year was that they loved being with the same students and the same teacher throughout the whole entire year. One, because it meant that we got to start right away in B. We were just up and running after our break. And two, because since we do so much peer review and revision and they're learning that writing is a recursive process, it's good for them to be comfortable with their classmates and who they're working with in something that is a little scary. It's hard showing someone else your work, but since they've been working with the same students all year, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses. They can say, oh, I'm having trouble with my thesis, but I know Adrian's really good with thesis statements, so I'm gonna go talk to him. And a lot of that was happening outside of class.
I assign a lot of novels for them to read, and they get mad, why are you reading so many novels? And then we get to project text, and I go, now this is why you read all those novels. So this semester, they're going to be analyzing 3 novels from 3 different writers from 3 different historical and racial backgrounds, and I ask them, find the commonality in these 3 writers. Then they start having fun. Oh, that's the purpose. Even novels link to each other. Even poems link to each other.
For project text, they had a choice of 3 different texts. We did Persepolis, which is a graphic novel. We did Watchmen as a graphic novel, and then they could also read The Hunger Games, the first book. And I let them choose from about 5 or 6 texts that I brought in. And what they did was, as a class, I put them into reading groups according to the text they were reading, and they had to find for themselves what were the themes and what were the common patterns.
Students are already telling me, oh, I had this essay in my history class, and I remembered the progression, progression 1 from last semester, and that's how I drafted out my paper. They're transferring what they're learning a lot better than before when you only had them for 1 semester.
We studied Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, and I really like this novel because we got to talk about the circus, the carnival space, and I introduced them to Mikhail Bakhtin and stuff like that. So I introduced some theory, but what was even more interesting was I divided the students into groups, and each group was assigned 5 chapters. They had to present on the chapters. They had to do a character analysis, a plot summary, a textual analysis, and they also had to present for the class different themes that might be within those chapters, and they had to present outside sources.
Project text is traditional if an instructor decides that they want a literary analysis essay at the end. It's non-traditional if you allow them to use other ways to do their work. For example, a student is writing a play, because we're doing project text right now, writing a play where the writers of these 3 different novels are having a conversation with each other. So it can be non-traditional too.
As soon as we start reading those progressions in that language, we start interpreting it. And then whatever we interpret that into our assignments, our students are going to have another level of interpretation. And I always look at it as I recognize limitation of my perspectives. They always have some unique angle to take, and I know that, so I invite that. So I feel like we wrote Stretch together, that they really helped give me a sense of what was possible.